to EveryRing. That's everything wrestling. Quick results for the past weekend of wrestling. NXT Battleground. Number 1. NXT Women's North American Championship. Saul Ricard defeated Kelani Jordan to retain. Number 2. Hank Walker, Tank Ledger and Josh Briggs defeated The Culling, Shawn Spears, Nico Vance and Brooks Jensen. Number 3. Stacks, Lorenzo defeated Tony D'Angelo. Number 4. NXT Women's Championship, Stephanie Vaquor defeated Jordan Grace to retain. Number 5. NXT Championship, Oba Femi defeated Miles Bourne. Number 6. Trick Williams defeated Joe Hendry via pinfall to win the TNA World Championship. Now results for AEW Double or Nothing. Number 1. Mercedes Moon defeated Jamie Hayter, Owen Hart Foundation Women's Final. Number 2. FTR defeated Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. Number 3. Ricochet defeated Mark Briscoe, stretcher match. Number 4. The Hurt Syndicate defeated the Sons of Texas, AEW World Tag Team titles. Number 5. Kazuchika Okada defeated Speedball Mike Bailey, AEW Continental title. Number 6. Timeless Toni Storm retained over Mina Shirakawa, AEW Women's World title. Number 7. Swerve Strickland, Kenny Omega, Willow Nightingale and the Oops win Anarchy in the Arena. Number 8. The Don Callis family defeated the Paragon Trios match. Number 9. Hangman Adam Page defeated Will Ospreay, Owen Hart Foundation Men's Final.
Welcome to another episode of EveryRing. That's Everything Wrestling. Continuing with the What If series. Today's a fun topic. What if WrestleMania wasn't successful? WWE. WrestleMania is professional wrestling to most of the mainstream audience these days. The WWE's finances are tailored around WrestleMania. They make up such a massive part of the success of the WWE that if it were ever to fail, the WWE would be in a lot of trouble. But what if it had never worked in the first place? What if WrestleMania 1 had failed? The original WrestleMania was a do-or-die moment for the WWF and Vince McMahon. It is no secret that Vince had put a lot of money into the show and a lot of it wasn't his own. If WrestleMania didn't work, then the WWF went out of business. It is as simple as that. If WrestleMania didn't work, then nationalization of the wrestling business would be considered a failure. It is possible that wrestling would go back to its territorial nature, with the NWA at the forefront leading the way once again. But with society changing and television changing, and the advent of cable TV, nationalization was clearly always going to happen. Jim Crockett Promotions was still aligned with the NWA at the time, and Jim Crockett was the president of the NWA and had envisioned a united NWA to counteract what the WWF was doing at the time. With the WWF out of the way, Crockett could have done it, and could have been the biggest show in town. But the NWA was a completely different beast compared to the WWF. There was much more of a wrestling focus and had less of the flash and pizzazz the WWF had in the 80s. Whether it would have worked or not will never be known, but that is the most likely scenario to happen due to the death of the WWF. And with the influx of ex-WWF stars, the NWA had an even stronger backbone than it did previously. But Ted Turner always wanted to get into the wrestling business, even back in the 70s. With Vince bankrupt, maybe he would have accepted a helping hand from Turner. McMahon refused Turner's offer to buy his business, but that was because it was successful. If Vince was a failure due to WrestleMania, then Turner's offer would be much more appealing. And now we have the 90s Monday Night War all over again, just from the opposite end. The NWA, which would have had to change its name, was the success, and WWF are the ones who nearly died. I don't think things would have gotten as big or popular without WrestleMania. No Hogan v Andre in front of 93,000 people means there is no wrestling boom. There is number 33 million people watching Saturday night's main event for the rematch. Maybe Turner and McMahon would go all out and rip the NWA to shreds, and I fully believe they could, as McMahon is a genius and thrives in a fight. And Turner is the exact same, only he has billions of dollars to spend on anything he wants. The wrestling world would be completely different, but I think in the end Vince would still be standing, just not as tall. AEW. As mentioned in the earlier What Ifs, WrestleMania failing could have meant there was no need to create an alternative to WWE. So AEW wouldn't exist as we know it. WrestleMania weekend is often the biggest weekend in indie wrestling, where a lot of the smaller independents book shows near the big event. Without WrestleMania, a lot of these wrestling outlets wouldn't be available, and the likes of the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and Adam Page wouldn't be relevant. The original WrestleMania was a do-or-die moment, so as mentioned, WWF could have put the company out of business, creating a more severe domino effect with the possibility of wrestling not even surviving. Meaning wrestling wouldn't have been mainstream and sadly be more related to the circus show than actual sports entertainment. So without WrestleMania, you definitely wouldn't see other PPV or PLEs. So no Starrcade, so no Double or Nothing, so no Wrestle Kingdom. It's a big venture where the landscape would be vastly different. TNA. Generically, Jim Crockett would aligned with NWA, making the territory system still valid. So TNA would possibly be a derivative of NWA. It may not be a big of a deal, and with the Jarretts just moving the system to accommodate the Southern system. Ultimately, no WWF would make sure there wasn't names like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Beautiful People, Gail Kim, or anything unique. In turn, with this being the case, the likes of Sting, Undertaker, Kane, Abyss, and several others not being developed. So the affect of a simple event could have been cataclysmic. Meaning Hulkamania be short-lived and not impactful. Meaning no mainstream pop culture references. Meaning a lot of people not being exposed to wrestling as a whole. We may very well not be having these discussions. So that's another episode of EveryRing, That's Everything Wrestling. Thank you, and let's now go to Arvid and the discussion.
There is so much to go through. Let's start off with some sad news. Salman Hashimikov has passed away at the age of 73. He is a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, winning the title from Vader in May 1989 and holding it for 48 days. Hashimikov only wrestled for a couple of years, mainly with NJPW, but did compete at NWA Starrcade 1990 as part of the Pat O'Connor International Tag Team Tournament. He last wrestled in 1994 at UWFI. Vince McMahon's new company is called 14th and I, focusing on sports, media, and entertainment. Former Women's World Champion Mariah May hasn't been seen on AEW programming since losing the Hollywood-ending match to timeless Toni Storm at Revolution back in March. Mariah May gone from AEW, expected to sign with WWE imminently. Abaddon departing AEW as contract not renewed. WWE Evolve has crowned their first women's champion in Kali Armstrong. In a great fatal four-way where Kali outlasted and defeated Wendy Chu, Kylie Rae, and Kendall Gray in a fatal four-way match to become the inaugural women's champion. As we are going through these what-ifs, you can always email us at everything@gmail.com. We love hearing your input. Let's go over matches of the week and wrestlers of the week. Matches of the week. Raw. Seth Rollins, with Paul Heyman, vs Sami Zayn vs Finn Balor in a triple threat men's Money in the Bank qualifier. This was a premium live event match on a Monday night. Three of the biggest names all carrying great stories. NXT Women's Championship, Stephanie Vaquor vs Jacy Jayne. The biggest upset no one saw coming. Always expect the unexpected is not only a saying, it's a way of life for NXT. SmackDown. US Champion Jacob Fatu vs Carmelo Hayes vs Andrade for the Money in the Bank qualifier. Another surprise and one hell of a match. Jacob Fatu again shows the world he's the real deal, and in another upset, Andrade moves on. AEW Dynamite. Mixed All-Star Trios match. Jon Moxley, Gabe Kidd and Marina Shafir vs Mark Briscoe, Mike Bailey and Willow. This was almost the continuation of Anarchy in the Arena match where violence was front and center. TNA International Championship, Steve McCullen vs Matt Cardona. Steve McCullen doesn't get the accolades he deserves. This match did everything right and was paced perfectly. Wrestlers of the Week. WWE. Jacy Jayne. Upset of the week and giving roses to a hard worker. It's a perfect win-win situation, and with such a deep women's division, the exciting times are ahead. AEW. Tekla. Making a big debut by attacking Jamie Hayter. Making a big splash. TNA. Lei Yingli, winning the #1 contendership for the TNA Knockout Championship. She's a hard worker and deserving the top spot. Another great week of wrestling. Like always, You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook and wherever you can watch wrestling entertainment. Until next week, chalo kushti le den.
Wrestling is something special, as you can see our human element dealt with a lot of superstars. King Kong Bundy, a wrestler deserving WWE Hall of Fame. Sherry Martel was an amazing person who helped revolutionize the women's division. The Crusher, who Milwaukee famous, was a classic star. Puppet the Midget was a bigger-than-life superstar who is both engaging and ahead of his time. Wrestling is life and we want to push it forward.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 14, Kenosha Community Television. Remember to tune into my program, Just Talkin', shown right here, Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Channel 14. On the program, we cover community events, talk to nonprofit organizations, and who knows, we may bump into a celebrity now and then. So remember to tune in to Just Talkin' Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. right here on Channel 14.
You are watching Kenosha Community Media. We provide you with education, media, and entertainment, while you provide us with the means to teach, entertain, and communicate. Thank you for allowing us to grow. See what's next for Kenosha Community Media.
Hey Bambinos! Do you like movies?
I sure do. I like the movies.
Yeah, we have a new show called What the Heck Are We Watching?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, it's a show that we review movies for coming weeks.
No, what are we watching? You said what the heck are we watching? You tell me.
We're watching the movies.
Oh, that's all right. We're watching the movies. Hey, you knew we were doing this promo. How come you didn't put your shoes on? That's a little unprofessional, no?
Because I really like to be freelancing. And every Friday at 5 and Saturdays at 10:30, you can listen to our reviews.
We have a great reviews. We're better than those other jabronis that used to do the reviews, huh?
Yeah, if you like Cisco and Ebert, you'll love us better. What the heck are we doing? Oh, watching.
I don't know what we're doing half the time either, but what the heck are we watching?
What the heck are we watching? We go over movies, we give them thumbs up, thumbs down, if we like them, and basically, we tell you if you want to go see a movie or not.
That's alright. And the most important message you get from the show is visit your grandparents.
Yeah.
It takes 10 to 15 minutes. Just go see them, give them some kisses, some of the hugs, and go to visit, huh?
So on Fridays at 5.
And Saturday morning to 10:30.
What the heck are you doing? Watching?
What are you doing right now? It's what the heck are we watching? Sorry, my wife is suffering some dementia, but it's a what the heck are we watching?
What the heck are we watching? Bye, Bambinos!
Now, the question I have to ask now, where the heck are we parking, right?
Service!
All right.
Hey kids, do you guys like cartoons?
I love cartoons!
Do you like to see the old classic cartoons that your families were raised with?
I would love to, but where can I watch those at?
Well, we're bringing back classical cartoons with Mr. Bunker's Cartoon Apocalypse, where we resurrect old cartoons.
Oh, when is it on?
On Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. and Sunday mornings at 10:30, where you get to see classic cartoons like Betty Boop.
I love Betty Boop.
Popeye.
Big Popeye fan.
We have great Huckle and Jekyll.
Oh, I love those.
So Kenosha Community Media is bringing back the classical cartoons with Mr. Bunker's Cartoon Apocalypse.
Question, does Mr. Bonkers have any friends on that show?
He has a lot of friends. We're hosting, we're Chalk and Manimal, but he has great friends like Chef Luigi.
Look, I'm gonna stop the kids.
He has Peanut the Peacock.
Hello, kids.
He has Cinnamon the Ape.
What's going on, brothers?
And his friend that also hosts a different show, it's Klutz the Clown.
Hey, kids, it's tough being a clown.
So if you enjoy cartoons, if you want to watch something that's whimsical and nostalgic, please tune into Mr. Bonker's Cartoon Apocalypse, Saturdays and Sundays, Saturdays at 10, Sundays at 10:30. And we would enjoy to join us because you could be our circus freaks. Bye, kids.
Goodbye, kids.
Just Turned Heel. Hosted by Danger Dan and Diablo Angelico. As seen on EveryRing, That's Everything Wrestling. Behind the curtain look at professional wrestling. A gritty shoot style of interviews where we look at various aspects of wrestling. Ever wanted to know what an indie star needs to do to get their foot in the door? Ever wanted to know what a booker does? Ever wanted to know the purpose of a referee is? Just Turned Heel will plunge into the world of wrestling and look at every facet. Just Turned Heel, YouTube exclusive, starting January 28, 2024.
Beware, take care. The little green dragon sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys, puppy dog tails, and big, fat snails. Beware! Pull the string! Pull the string! Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater can be viewed on Saturdays at 9 o'clock, Tuesdays at 3 o'clock, and Fridays at midnight. All right, ghoulies, you tune in. You won't be let down.
You haven't seen horror till you've seen horror of the crying skull. See teenagers getting killed. See horror coming at you every scene in a skull. See the skull coming at you. The skull, and hear her cry. I hope you enjoy the horror of the crying skull.